Hi guys, welcome again, and today I'd like to share with you my latest acquisition, which is another live steam locomotive. For those of you who do not know how the live steam locomotives work, they are essentially full metal replicas of the real thing, and you fire them with real water and steam and a heat source, in this case butane gas. This locomotive is the Southern Pacific Mogul series. It's the 260 model. It's one of 7 locomotives that still exist in the world today. Only 7 are left out of about 355 made by the Baldwin company. And this model in real life was made about 1901. Enough of the history. Let me just introduce the model to you. As you can see, it's quite detailed, right from the metal valves up to the whistles and valves and taps and bells and lights, and even the flue in the front. A quite aesthetic model, very pleasing, and I'm really proud of it. It has a full copper boiler, as you can see there. This particular model has been modified to run with remote control, that's RC control, so I can regulate the steam valves and the steam pressure with a normal handheld radio. That's the steam valve. It has a working pressure of about 60 psi, and under the locomotive there's actually an axle pump, and that pump constantly keeps the boiler filled with water, and the reservoir is there, which you fill with water there. You can manually fill up the tank with that, but as the locomotive runs forward or reverse, by adjusting this valve you can regulate the rate at which the water from the reserve tank is pumped into the locomotive tank. A very interesting feature is this little box there that was modified to contain the battery and the receiver. It doesn't come with this box. The locomotive itself is manually controlled, and this was just made quite well, in my opinion, to fit into the picture and look like an original part of the locomotive. I'd be running the locomotive on stationary rolling roads, sort of like an improvisation, so that you can see it run. It runs smoothly. I've run it only once since it arrived yesterday, and I'll do another demonstration for the video. Well, enough talk, and let me set it up so we can run the locomotive. So I've just put the locomotive on top of a makeshift rolling road, and the drain cocks are open. It gives a very realistic effect when I just open the steam valve. And as you can see, the steam's coming out at the bottom, just like in a real train, and all the condensed water in the cold metal is coming out now. As soon as I close them, then the train will be ready to move. So the pressure gauge is up to 50 psi, ready to run. The safety valve is just beginning to give off steam. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that shows that the recommended steam maximum pressure is almost being reached. I slowly ease open the valve with the remote control. It starts with a jerk because it's moving without any resistance. On a track it will be much more smooth, and even more smooth when you have a train attached to the locomotive, a train of cabins or load. As you can see, there's a beautiful plume of steam simulating smoke from the chimney there, and it's running beautifully. I explained earlier about the axle pump, the water pump that keeps the boiler filled up from the water tank. And I don't know if you can see it there, but there you can see the return valve. That means the pump is not pumping everything into the locomotive now. Part of it is going back into the tank. And if I close this valve here, then everything it's pumping will go into the boiler. But now I've just put it so it's partially being filled up. Which is you have to find a good balance in between the two. The remote control for the set is this one there, and it's quite simple. Closed steam valve, open steam valve, and this is the direction, forward and backwards. So now it's backwards. You can see the train is reversing. There's not really more to it, so it's actually quite easy and straightforward. Well, that's it for this short demo and review of the Accucraft Southern Pacific 260 Mogul Series, serial number 1744. I hope you enjoyed the video.